According to Scotiabank's new CEO, tens of thousands of Canadians may be at risk of defaulting on their mortgages because of the rising rates. The specific number he said was actually 20,000, that he thinks there's 20,000 customers with mortgages at Scotiabank, at that one specific bank, that could potentially be at risk with these rising rate increases. A lot of the times what I will do on this channel is I will read you a sensationalized real estate headline and then we'll debunk it. Overall, I feel like I'm a pretty optimistic person, but there's obviously a lot of truth to this headline based on how fast the rates have gone up. I think a lot of Canadians are going to at some point here feel it, and it could be an issue making their payments. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over this article. We're going to see exactly what was said. Then I'm actually going to show you the CMHC mortgage delinquent rates to show you what percentage of Canadians don't pay their mortgages over the last 10 years. And you might be surprised with what you find out. Thank you so much for being back here. My name is Tom Storey. I make educational real estate videos about the Toronto real estate market, and sometimes we cover all of Canada. If you're watching this video and you find any value in it, all I ask is hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, we have that goal to hit 10,000 subscribers by April 1st. If you've been enjoying these videos, all I ask is hit that subscribe button. If you or anyone you know is looking to make a move in the Toronto real estate market, you can also go into the first link in the description and book a discovery call with me. Let's get right into the article and go over this together. All right, so here's the headline. Tens of thousands of Canadians could default on mortgages as interest rates rises, CEO says. Okay, so what they're basically saying here is that Canadian borrowers could be vulnerable of defaulting on their mortgages if interest rates rise and homeowners struggle to make monthly payments, according to the CEO of one of the country's largest banks. This is Scotiabank's new CEO, and he's saying about 20,000 of the bank's borrowers could be at risk. Now, even though the stress test was implemented in 2018, which should have stressed most people at today's current rates, I find this next quote pretty interesting by CIBC. This is the CEO of CIBC. This is not a bank credit problem. This is a consumer lifestyle issue. Apparently there's a conference going on this week and all these CEOs are meeting, and that's where these quotes are coming from. And most of the CEOs have said the household savings built up during the pandemic, a strong job market, and the general surge in property values, basically going back to 2019 in recent years, should provide a cushion for most of their mortgage customers. What this article is saying to me, actually, what the headline is, that a small percentage of borrowers, looking at about 1%, could be in the category of in a situation where they may not be able to make their payments. They're not saying with full certainty that people won't be able to make their payments. They're just saying that they're a little bit worried with about 1% of their consumers in terms of people that took mortgages. We recently had Brendan Ogmanson on the podcast channel. He's the chief economist for the BC Real Estate Board. And I had asked him a similar question. It was like, are you worried right now? And based on the savings that people had, he said that, yes, some people were maybe not going to be in great situations, but overall, he was feeling fairly confident about people being able to make their mortgage payments. And then I got thinking about this because I can tell you, over the holidays, going to the mall, going shopping, trying to go out for dinner at just like a place like The Keg in downtown Toronto, I couldn't get a seat. Like, it was packed everywhere. And I haven't yet seen in my friend group or my family members people really pulling back on spending because they haven't been hit with it yet. But there's going to be a portion of the population that took a variable rate mortgage that's already started to feel the pain. And RBC's even said that 50% of their clientele that took an adjustable variable rate mortgage have now hit their trigger rate maybe more than one time, where their payments are automatically going to increase. And with the looming thought that a recession is going to happen here in 2023, I think we're going to actually get to a point here where a lot of Canadians are going to say, okay, I got to tighten things up now. I can't just spend like I used to. I'm going to have to make smarter financial decisions. But I do think long term, making those mortgage payments is going to be the number one priority for people. They're just going to have to realize they got to stop spending money over here. That lifestyle is going to change. You can't live a champagne lifestyle on a beer budget. Now, my good friend Nolan Matthias, who's also done another video on this topic, I'm going to link his video in the description, and it's going to be at the end of this video as well. He was recently on our podcast as well. And what he says that in Q3 of 2022, because that's the most up-to-date data that we have so far, the delinquency rate of mortgages was the lowest it has ever been. So I actually downloaded that chart from CMHC. I want to go over that with you just to show you exactly what that means. I will also link this down in the description. So let's go over it together. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the mortgage delinquency rate and it's going all the way back to 2012. So at the top here in this category, you're going to see for all of Canada, then it goes provinces and specific metropolitan areas. So let's focus on Canada here to start. Back in Q3 of 2012, it was under 1%, but 0.38. Okay, we hanged around that number until basically 2015 as we move over here. Now, if we fast forward all the way to today, okay, that number is 0.14. So in Q3 of 2022, even during the start of all the mortgage payments going up last year, what it's showing us is that 0.14% of people that have mortgages couldn't make their payments. So way less than 1%. And it's interesting is if you even go back, not that long ago, back to Q3 2020, it was at 0.29. So it's cut in half since then. So although the numbers are showing us that they're worried that people aren't going to make their payments, as the data that we have right now, it's the lowest it's ever been in history. At the end of the day, this is going to be a worry for some Canadians. I mean, if you're going to raise interest rates 7 times the fastest we ever have in history, obviously it's going to put some people in some bad situations. What I find too in the media world as someone that does a lot of media is that when one headline comes out like this, all the other media outlets try to jump on it, right? So I even had a call today, the exact day this came out, by a very large media organization that said to me, hey, Tom, are you willing to come on the news with a client of yours that has to sell their property because they don't want to foreclose on it? Like, no interest in talking to me about the 99.9% of people that are making their mortgage payments, but they're curious about that very small portion because that's going to sell clicks. And the truth is, I said to them, I don't know right now. I haven't had any clients actually tell me that's an issue. So I'm not going to have anyone that's willing to talk about it. And by the way, even if they were, that would not be a smart thing to do. If you have to sell your property because you're in a tough financial position, you do not want buyers to know that because they're going to take advantage of you because they know you're super motivated. I'd love to know your opinion on this. Please throw it in the comments below. Thank you again for watching this video. As always, my name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins. Make sure to check out Nolan Mathias's video on this exact same topic. I think you're really gonna enjoy it.